It's 2024 and neo-retro seems to be the ongoing theme, and that theme has proliferated the scooter market as well. Well, we have had a couple of retro scooters in the past like the Vespa and the Ficino from Yamaha, but now Hero has entered its hat in the ring with this, the 2024 Destini 125. For 2024, the Destini 125, it gets a bunch of visual updates. It also gets some important functional updates. In this video, I'm going to be telling you exactly what they are and whether or not you should consider getting one of these scooters. But before we proceed, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share it with like-minded enthusiasts, and smash that bell icon to stay notified for all of our video drops. Now, the biggest difference between the new Destini 125 and the model it replaces is the design. As you can see, this looks nothing like the older Destini 125. This has a proper neo-retro vibe going, and the dead giveaway for that is this headlight setup. Now, this is more neo than retro, if you get what I mean. You have a very modern edge-shaped DRL over here, and you have these nice accents, your turn signals over here. You have a projector LED headlamp along with your DRL setup, which is a very good thing. This should work very well compared to other traditional LED headlight setups. You have a nice metal fender, and as you come to the side, you have a nice metal body as well. Now, your instrumentation is also slightly different. One thing I really like about the instrumentation is that the buttons are here, especially your pass switch, and it's not up here, which means it's a lot easier to access while you're riding and you don't really need to get your hand off and do all of that. Now, there are three variants of the new Destini 125. There's the base variant, there's the ZX variant, and there's the ZX Plus. Now, the ZX Plus is what we're riding here today, and this is what gets the bronze chrome accents. The standard ZX, it gets silver chrome accents, and the base variant, it doesn't get these chrome accents at all. Now, you have a nice long seat. It's a 780mm seat is what Hero is telling us. It's a very long seat. You get a backstop for the pillion as well, so they will be comfortable as well. And as you can see, the mirrors also are matched to the body color. So all in all, it's a very nice looking scooter. It's not very traditionally Hero in that sense, and I think I like the way it looks. Now, coming to the rear, you have a very interesting tail section. I'm not completely sold on the way this looks. You have this edge pattern light for the tail light, and this is very similar to that on the Vida, and a very similar design language to the one on the Zoom as well. But your indicators are up here on this whole new compartment where the external fuel filler cap sits. Now, this is the design element I'm not particularly sold on. What do you think of? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, speaking of design elements that I'm not completely sold on, as you can see, this gets this brown colored plastic cladding on the inside. Other variants do get the black one, but this particular one is brown, and it shows dust and dirt a lot more prominently than the black one does, and I'm not particularly fond of the way this looks. Again, you may like it, so you let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. But that's the design of the Destini 125. Very new, very refreshed. Now, despite the overall scooter not being that different from the older bike, this is very new in the visual sense. Now, coming to the powertrain of the scooter, it's a very familiar setup to the previous Destini 125. It's the same 125cc mill. You get 9 bhp at 7,000 rpm and 10.4 Newton meters of torque at 5,500 rpm. Now, the overall outputs, the overall rideability is the same, but Hero tells us that they have made some changes to make it a more efficient powertrain to that, and they claim a mileage of 59 kilometers to the liter. This is something we can test when we get it for a road test. Apart from that, they've also said that they've worked on things like the Kickstarter to make it a little more easy to operate, and one soft kick should be enough to make the scooter road to life. Upon doing that, it does feel very easy to use, but when you have a single touch starter with the i3S starter generator motor, you don't really need to bother with that. So yeah, performance is punchy. 20 to 60 kmph is where the scooter really feels alive. You have a lot of punch at that point of time, and any point of time in those speeds, you can just roll on the throttle and you have a lot of power to play with. Apart from that, this will accelerate north of 80 kmph as well. But like I said, considering this is a scooter and you're not going to be spending a lot of time on the highway, the way that this powertrain is set up, it works like you want a scooter too. Now, the next major change that differentiates this from the model it replaces is on the chassis front. As you can see, it's riding on bigger 12-inch wheels at both ends. The rear wheel is wider at a 100 section tire, and the front wheel, it wears a 90 section tire. Now, apart from that, the wheelbase itself is longer by 57 millimeters. This is to improve the stability, but that 57mm wheelbase is also compensated for with a slightly sharper rake, so you don't really lose agility as well. And to that end, they have done a good job of making that the case. This feels feels very planted at highway speeds, and by highway speeds I mean around 70-80 kph. This feels pretty planted, no problems whatsoever. And when you want to weave in and out of traffic, the sharper rake and the 12-inch front wheel, it allows you to do that as well. And the biggest benefit of the 12-inch front wheel is the fact that this rides very nicely. Undulations, potholes and all that, it's not like it doesn't crash in third. That is very little compared to before, but it rides a lot more confidently, and even bigger potholes don't really upset it because there's a bigger wheel going through it, so the likelihood of that getting caught is much lesser than before, especially considering that it's upsized from a 10-inch to a 12-inch wheel. Apart from that, you have a very traditional scooter style ergonomic setup. As you can see, I'm 5'10". I'm very comfortably sat on this scooter. It has a nice long seat as well, so there's enough space left for a pillion. Handlebar is not fouling with my legs. That's also because the handlebar is again placed slightly taller, and it's a very neutral riding experience. This is what you expect from a scooter. There are no surprises here, and they've done a very good job in accommodating most shapes or sizes of riders as well. Now braking, as you can see, it comes from a 190mm disc at the front and a SRAM at the rear. Now the ZX and the ZX Plus both benefit from the disc brake at the front. The standard variant, it gets a drum brake at the front. Now apart from that, now I'm going to stick to this variant because this is what I am riding. Now the braking performance is solid, but you need to reach into a very hard lever to get all of that braking performance. This is something that may loosen up over time riding the scooter, or you may get used to it, but as of right now it feels like you need to put a lot of effort to get the braking performance. But once you start to access the braking performance, there's plenty of it to be enjoyed. Now Hero has also added a feature in the braking system. It's called IBS, which essentially has a lean angle sensor of sorts. So if it feels that the bike has fallen or tipped over, it will not allow you to crank the engine, and if the engine was already running, it will shut it off. So that's a neat feature to have. Now, as of filming this review, we do not have the exact prices of what the updated Jupiter 125 will be. But I don't think I'm wrong in assuming that the price bump will be a couple of ₹1,000. And for that, I feel like Hero have done enough to justify that price tag, if there is a price bump at all. Because you get bigger wheels that helps it deal with our Indian roads much better than before. You get a really nice styling set with this new retro styling appeal. It may appeal to a lot of people, and I feel like they've done a very good job of making it very non-offensive in that sense. Apart from that, you get all the functional and practical elements that you would expect of a very sorted family scooter. So the question is, does this styling appeal to you, and does it appeal to you enough to make you choose it over its rivals like the Activa 125 or the TVS Jupiter 125? Do let me know in the comment section down below and we'll have a conversation. And as always, thank you for watching.